There is something sitting inside your electrical panel right now, an empty space your utility company has never once mentioned, never suggested you use, and never bothered to explain. That silence is not an accident. That silence has been costing you real money every single month for decades. And the fix costs exactly $1. Maybe nothing at all if you already have aluminum foil sitting in your kitchen drawer right now. Stay with me for the next 10 minutes, because what you are about to learn is not a theory, not a rumor, and not some internet trick. It is physics, documented, tested, measured, and then quietly buried by one of the most powerful corporations in American history. Once you understand it, you will never look at your electric bill the same way again, ever. Welcome to MindShift Academy. This channel exists for one reason, to hand you knowledge that powerful institutions would prefer you never had. Hit subscribe right now and turn on notifications, because the content we cover here is exactly the kind that quietly disappears. And if this video makes you feel something by the end, share it with every homeowner you know. They deserve to know this too. Now, let us talk about what is actually happening inside your breaker box every single second of every day, and why one crumpled ball of aluminum foil changes everything permanently. When your home draws electricity, the current flowing through your main feed conductors is not clean or perfectly efficient. Alternating current, the kind powering every outlet in your home, creates a constantly shifting electromagnetic field that radiates outward from your wires into the surrounding space. Inside your breaker box, that space is several inches of open air on every side of your main feed conductors. A field nobody told you about. A field actively working against your wallet every month. Here is the part that should stop you cold. Every motor running in your home right now, your refrigerator compressor, your air conditioning unit, your washing machine, your dishwasher, does not just consume electricity to do useful work. It also pulls what engineers call reactive power. Reactive power is not useful energy. It does not cool your home. It does not clean your clothes. It travels back and forth through your meter, and in many billing structures, it shows up directly on your bill. The electromagnetic field filling your breaker box amplifies this reactive exchange. It couples with every inductive load downstream and supercharges the inefficiency already built into your system. Your appliances are not just running, they are fighting, and you're paying for every single round of that fight. Now here's where the story gets genuinely dark. And this is the part that a very powerful corporation spent serious resources making sure you would never piece together on your own. In the late 1950s, an engineer at one of America's largest industrial research laboratories made a discovery that should have reached every household in the country. He had been studying published academic work on electromagnetic field behavior, research originally written for antenna design with no connection to household electricity at all. That research documented something remarkable about conductive spherical objects placed near alternating current conductors. A metal sphere does not sit passively near a live conductor. It interacts with the field around it. The induced currents running across its surface create a counterfield that reduces reactive coupling in the surrounding space. A buffer, a dampener, something that quietly interrupts the inefficient energy exchange between the conductor and everything connected downstream. The engineer ran controlled laboratory tests. Aluminum spheres of different sizes, positioned at different distances from power conductors inside, simulated residential panels. The results were not subtle or borderline. The correctly sized sphere, placed near the main feed conductors, reduced the reactive power component of the current by over 40%. He brought his findings forward with complete documentation, fully expecting this discovery to reach American homeowners within a few years. Instead, the corporation looked at those results and ran a completely different calculation. Not how much money homeowners would save, how much money they would lose. Because this corporation was not a single product company. They manufactured the appliances inside your home. They manufactured the meters bolted to the side of your house. They built the power generation equipment feeding your entire grid. Every inefficiency in the residential electricity system generated revenue for them at multiple levels simultaneously. A passive $1 device that permanently reduced home energy consumption was not a product opportunity. It was a direct threat to the entire business model they had spent decades building. When the patent application was rejected, because the underlying physics was too fundamental, too universal, too ancient to be owned by any corporation, they faced a clear choice. Publish the research and let every American homeowner benefit from it for free, or bury it. They chose to bury it. The engineer was quietly reassigned to an unrelated department. The documentation was filed away where no outside researcher would reach it for nearly 4 decades. And every breaker box installed in every home built after that decision continued, sitting with that same empty space, full of reactive electromagnetic field, quietly inflating the monthly electric bill of every family living inside. Consider the number that results from that decision. Over 60 years, hundreds of millions of homes, each one paying 15 to 25% more on their power bill than the physics actually required. The cumulative total extracted from American households because of one internal corporate memo one revenue protection decision runs into the hundreds of billions of dollars. Not because the electricity system was broken, because one company decided that your ignorance was simply more profitable than your savings. Now here is what you actually do about it. Today, with materials you almost certainly already own, you need aluminum foil, standard kitchen foil, any brand. Tear off a sheet roughly 12 inches square. Crumple it firmly into a dense sphere about the size of a golf ball, 40 to 50 millimeters across. Roll it between your palms until it holds its shape solidly. That is the entire device. That is the technology that took years of corporate research to measure and 64 years of institutional silence to suppress. Before touching your electrical panel, switch your main breaker to the off position. Verify power is out by testing a nearby outlet. The utility lines entering the very top of your panel remain energized regardless of your main breaker. Do not go near them. Work only below the main breaker on the load side. Remove the panel cover. Find your two main feed conductors, the heavy insulated wires running downward from the main breaker. Position the aluminum ball in the space between these conductors, roughly midway along their length. The ball must not make direct electrical contact with any bare wire, terminal, or bus bar. If you need to hold it in place, a small piece of electrical tape against the panel wall is enough. Replace the cover, restore the main breaker, and photograph your meter reading today. Compare your next 2 billing cycles against the same months last year. The effect begins the moment the ball is positioned correctly. One final note. Aluminum develops a slow oxidation layer on its surface over time. Every 2 to 3 years, replace the ball with a freshly crumpled piece of foil. 30 seconds. Zero cost if you have a roll in the kitchen. Full performance restored immediately. The knowledge behind this was never truly hidden from the world. It sat in academic physics journals, openly available to any engineer who looked. What was hidden was the translation, the practical connection between laboratory electromagnetic theory and your specific breaker box. That connection was deliberately withheld. The people who designed certified commercial electronics use this principle routinely. Military electromagnetic compatibility standards reference it directly. University engineering programs teach it. The only address where it was never delivered was yours. That changes right now. Drop a comment below and tell me what your monthly electric bill looks like. I want to track the results from people watching this video. And if you know a homeowner who has been watching their power bill climb every year with no explanation, share this video with them today. One share. Real money back in someone's pocket every single month. Subscribe to MindShift Academy, because the next piece of buried knowledge we are opening is heavier than this one, and you will not want to be the last person to know it.